Hey everybody, my name is Matt. In this video I'm going to talk about how spousal benefits work. So when I worked for Social Security, one of the most common questions I would receive from people is, why am I not getting half of my spouse's benefit amount? So in this video I want to explain how they work so that if you're thinking about filing for Social Security soon, you'll have a good idea, you'll be a little bit better prepared. Or maybe if you're already on Social Security benefits, it'll help you kind of understand this and answer this question as to why your benefits are not exactly half of your spouse's benefit. So I'm going to cover three things in this video that you should understand about spouses' benefits and Social Security. So the first thing is spouses are eligible for up to 50% of the other spouse's full benefit. Now, there's a lot that I said in that sentence there, so let me break it down just a little bit. First of all, I mentioned full benefit amount. Okay, so what the Social Security Administration does is they take your full benefit rates for you and your spouse, and then they compare those two. If yours is less than half of your spouse's rate, then you would qualify for a spousal benefit. This is, again, the full benefit rate. Okay, so in Social Security terminology, this is called the primary insurance amount, the PIA, which I will bring up multiple times in my videos. So get to know the term a little bit. That PIA, the primary insurance amount, is what you would receive at your full retirement age. Now, full retirement age can be a little different for people because over the last 5 or 10 years, they've been raising that full retirement age from age 66 up to age 67. So for me, by the time I retire, 67 is the full retirement age, and maybe even for you as well. But you might also be somewhere between 66 and 67 for your full retirement age. So the PIA is what you would get at full retirement age. That number controls everything, and it's what they base your eligibility for spousal benefits on, okay? Not necessarily a payment amount, but your eligibility. So let's break it down. Let's give an example here. Let's say the husband has a benefit rate of a PIA, I should say, a PIA of $2,000 per month. For the wife, her PIA would need to be less than $1,000 a month for her to qualify on her husband's record. If her PIA is $1,200 a month, then she's not going to qualify. Now, again, this is just for the eligibility, okay? So let's say her PIA, her full amount, is $1,200 a month, but she takes her benefit early and only receives $900 a month. Would she then be eligible on her husband's record? And the answer is no, because they're comparing PIAs, the full rate. It doesn't matter what you're actually receiving. It matters what your controlling number is, the PIA. Okay, I want to drive that home because there's a lot of people that just struggle with that. So it doesn't matter, again, when you take the benefit. That PIA is your controlling amount. That PIA never changes. Well, it goes up for cost of living increases and other things, but the PIA doesn't change based on when you take it. Once you take your benefit, they call that the monthly benefit amount, or the MBA. So again, these benefits are based on the PIA. Now, if the husband's rate was $2,500 and the wife's rate was $1,200, then half of his rate would be $1,250, which means that at full retirement age, she would get $1,250 because her PIA is less than half of his PIA. Okay, hope that made a little bit of sense there. I'm going to move on to the second thing. I might make a little bit more clear. So the second thing to know is that there is no switching of benefits. You do not have a choice to take either your own benefit or your spouse's benefit. You actually just file for retirement. And then the Social Security Administration must pay you on your own record first. And then if your PIA is less than half of your spouse's PIA, then they will supplement that from your spouse's record. So it's just automatic. You do not have a choice to say, I don't want mine, I'm going to go file on my spouse's. You actually just file a claim, and the Social Security Administration must pay you whatever you're eligible for. So let's go back to our example here. If the husband's rate's $2,500 a month, We divide that by 2, it's $1,250. If the wife's rate is $1,200 a month, then she will get, if she waited till her full retirement age, husband's age doesn't matter on this one, but if she waited till her full retirement age, she would receive $1,200 on hers because that's her PIA, and she would receive $50 extra over on his record because half of his PIA is $1,250. So they kind of combine those. They pay you on your own record first, and then they're going to supplement it from his up to half of his PIA. Whew, there's a lot there. A couple of things to know. It doesn't change if he took his early. So let's say he took his benefit early and he wasn't getting $2,500 a month. He was getting less, doesn't matter. The wife's rate is still based on his PIA of $2,500 a month. Okay, so what if she takes her benefit early? Well, she gets $1,200 on her own and $50 on his record with our scenario. So if she took her benefit earlier than full retirement age, they would simply take the $1,200 on her own and lower it, the $50 on his and lower it, and then combine them. So both of them would get lowered for age. To actually figure out what the formula is a little complicated because the percentage of reduction is slightly different on her own record versus on the spousal record. So I'm not going to go into all that detail right now. The important thing to know is that you don't have a choice. When you file, you're going to collect both if you're eligible for both. Now, there's only one exception to that. Well, actually, I'm sorry. There are two exceptions to that. So the first one is that if you were born before 1954, you actually do have an option to file on your spouse's record and delay your own record. This is called a restricted application, and it's a very different thing, and it's pretty rare now because most people born before 1954 have filed for their benefits. If you were born before 1954 and you have not filed for your benefits yet, then contact the Social Security Administration and ask them about that. You can't go back. If you've already filed for your benefits, you can't go back and do a switcheroo thing, okay? So this is only applicable if born before 1954 and you have not filed for your own benefits yet. Okay, the second exception to this is for widows' benefits, which is not really an exception because it's a different category. So spouses, again, they don't have a choice you don't have a choice whether to file on your own or on your spouse's. If you're a widow, though, it's a different situation, which I will cover in other videos about widows. Widows have their own set of rules. They're quite complicated, and so you need to just kind of keep spouses' benefits different from widows' benefits. Okay, now the third thing to know about how spouses' benefits work is that gender doesn't matter here. So the husband could file on the wife's record if his PIA was lower than or was less than half of her PIA. You know, the most common scenario is the wife files on the husband's record because her PIA is less than half of his PIA. But the husband could file on the wife's, the husband could file on the husband, the wife on the wife's. Okay, so gender doesn't matter here with Social Security. All that matters is that you are married, and then they're going to look at those PIA amounts, and if yours is less than half, then you will get a little bit extra on your spouse's record. Okay, I hope that made sense. That's maybe a little bit complicated. There's a lot complicated about the Social Security Administration, actually, which is why I'm making a program here to kind of simplify the process for people to put your mind at ease as you go through this process of filing for Social Security. So check the links in the description. When that product's ready, I'll put it up. The whole point of it is to take your hand and walk you through the process of getting your Social Security and answer all your questions and put your mind at ease. So if that interests you, check the links there, and I'll put them in there when I'm ready. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.